Hello everyone and welcome to Low Budget Otaku, and today I'm reviewing the reissue of the Revoltech Prototype 00 from the movie Evangelion 2.0. I think these are called Evangelion Evolution series, and basically they're just re-releases with some slight changes of the original releases, and I think this line is amazing. I already reviewed two figures of this line on my channel, so the Revoltech Eva 01 and 03, so check those out if you haven't, and let's start.
Follow me. I'll cover you.
Looking, so I actually like the way the boxes of the re-releases look. They're very simplistic but immediately recognizable, and I like that a lot. We have great poses on the box. It says what it comes with, and of course the other things I don't understand because they are Japanese. But again, I like recognizable boxes, and that's a good thing that all of the figures on this series bring boxes very much alike. Let me take the figure off the rotating stand, and let's take a look at what it brings. Besides the two fist hands that I have right now in the figure, we have two shopping hands, two open hands that have a peg for that missile over there. We have two choking hands that also have a peg. All the hands are really well done. We have two knife grabbing hands. It doesn't bring a knife, but other Revoltech figures of this line do bring a knife, and it is compatible. The same thing for the gun holding hands, that again it doesn't bring a gun, but other figures do. And then we have two style pose hands. Great variety of hands. All of the Revoltech figures of this line bring similar hands, but then they have their own quirks. Like for example, this guy brings two extra arms. They are bandaged up to remind us of the episode where, not really episode because it's from the movie, but the scene where the Eva 02 is all banged up and fighting. Also another leg piece to replace the right thigh, so this can replace this part, and that's a good thing because this has a little mold problem here. So it's not just chaos, they have mold problems. This one does too, and also brings a paint problem right there. But overall the paint and sculpt is very good. So we got our Revoltech stand. That is basically the same as we've seen before. It's basically an imitation of the Figma stand, just a bit bigger. Still, the Figma stand is my favorite. We have these effect parts to put on his foot. Will look great for action poses. Really like figures that bring these kind of things. We have the umbilical cord. Then unfortunately, it's not fitting. Now it fitted well, but it's very loose because I actually forced a little bit here to plug in the stand. The stand should plug here, not here. This should be for this, but I put it too large and now it doesn't hold that well. Then we actually have our angel. It is from the famous moment where the Eva is trying desperately to stop it. I like that most of these Revoltechs bring this type of things. Yes, hinge here, and you'll see for not really hinge, a Revoltech joint. We can plug the stand we can plug it into the stand. Looks good. And then we have this effect part to emulate the AT field. Great look. And finally, we have our missile. That looks very good, and the swivel here, and swivels, leaving 2 points here, and there's another one here. Why? Well, so we can adjust the position of both these pegs to put in the hands. So great paint job, great engineering, really like this accessory. By the way, most of the pegs are very tight, so expect to have to use either a dryer or hot water to replace some of the parts. So let me see if I can replace those arms. So basically, let's see. Okay, this time it got in very easily, probably because I already loosened it up from playing around with it, and I actually used the dryer to get some of these joints loose. Because again, and there you go, we have a replacement arm. Looks really good. And I'm going to also replace the leg. There you go. She needs to go up. Not as easy as it looks. And there you go. So I replaced one arm, I replaced one leg, and for now I'm going to put that fist back in. And there you go. So let's take a look at this articulation. We have a lot of Revoltech joints. The Revoltech joints are very clicky, and they are some of the best joints in the market, but they are not without fault. So the level of detail on this figure is amazing, and it brings a lot of accessories. But let's take a look at the articulation.
And now comes the interesting part. Let your fingers get in there and have a good old rub-a-dub.
Articulation, we have a Revoltech joint on the head, allows us great range of motion, but I still prefer ball joints sincerely in the head, but Revoltech tries to use Revoltech joints for everything. The neck, we also have a Revoltech joint. It's limited a little bit, especially because of this part that you can rip off if you're not careful. Then we have a Revoltech joint on the shoulder part. Again, it works fine, helps you get it out of the way, and a Revoltech joint for the shoulder, and this one is very clicky. Again, with the Revoltech joint you can swivel, but you need to adjust always the position to get it where you want, but it will hold the position very well. Then we have a Revoltech joint in the elbow. This one is not that clicky, and another one on the hand. Basically works as it was a ball hinge. Then we have Revoltech joint here and Revoltech joint here. Does allow you to crunch very far and lean back very far too, and does allow you to adjust in a swivel motion the torso. Then the legs get complicated. You actually have a hinge here that allows you just to kick forward and kick back, and then you have a Revoltech joint from this connection to the thigh, and this one is the one that allows you to spread. It is a weird spread, but it is what it is because of the Revoltech joints. And then you have these parts just to cover up the gaps. And then we have a Revoltech joint on the knee, a Revoltech joint on the foot, all very clicky, and a toe pivot. The Revoltech joints allow you to get most poses that you would ever want. They have great articulation, but it gives you more work and it's harder to pose. But this is one of the things about Revoltech figures. Great posability, but harder to hide the joints and harder to put them where you want to be. But yes, great articulation, nothing to complain here. This of course allows us to do great dynamic poses with the figure that looks really good. But let's take a look at the figure size. Bandai High Grade EVA 00, NECA T100, Figma RAM, Figma Shizu Hayajima, Playar Sky Tifa Lockhart, Revoltech Nicholas D. Wolfhood, and from the same Evangelion Evolution line, EVA 03 Bardial version. I really like this line and I think they are probably the best Evangelion figures right now in the market, so it should be no surprise that I'm giving it my low budget otaku seal of approval. If you are a Neon Genesis Evangelion fan, don't forget to check out all of my other Evangelion reviews. I have a playlist just for those. I'm leaving you with some pictures of the figure. If you enjoyed the review, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that little bell icon to always know when the new video is up. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below, tell me what you think about this line of figures. Do you like it? Are you going to get one for yourself? They are all still available on HobbyLink Japan and other similar sites by more or less 33 euros, plus shipping and taxes of course. I actually have another figure of this line reserved for November, but I won't tell you yet which one is it.
Oh yes.
See you next time.
Do